Hello teachers, it's Nikki Lubing here from iTutorGroup. So I got a lot of emails asking me about the interview process at iTutorGroup. So let's talk about it. How can you ace the interview here at iTutorGroup? Number one, let's talk about strategies. There are 3 strategies that your interviewer is going to be looking for. Number 1 is TPR. Number 2 is visuals. And number 3 is props. So when you do your demo, if you have to do a demo, those are the 3 things that you need to include. Even if you're not doing a mock or demo, you should still talk about those strategies when you're asked questions about your experience teaching online. Because there's going to be questions about how you teach, what you do in a classroom situation, the different scenarios that could possibly happen. So bring those vocabulary words up. Say, I use TPR, I use visuals, I use props, and maybe even have those with you in your interview. If you're not sure what TPR is, there's a lot of videos out there that can tell you about it, but it is total physical response, and you want your student to be doing it as well. So total physical response technically is a physical response to what somebody is telling you. So let's say that you're talking to someone, talking to your student, talking to a child, and you're saying, sit. Then your student should actually physically sit. It's a command, and you're telling that child what to do. And then you could say, stand, and then the child stands up. So that is technically what total physical response is, but there's also instructional TPR where you're using gestures to help the child understand what you want them to do as well. So if you're saying speak or repeat, I am Nikki. I am Nikki. And then they understand that you're saying speak and you want to hear what their response is, and that's a way to engage them as well. If you have your TPR, your strategies, and your visuals, you're going to be hired. There's pretty much no doubt that you're going to be hired, as long as you know how to use those appropriately. They're also going to be asking you about classroom management. So sometimes you have students that don't pay attention. Sometimes there's students that they get distracted. So you want to be able to answer how you would deal with that. And again, you can talk about the ways that you engage and what you do in those scenarios. Then they might also ask you about if your student is saying nothing or if your student is parroting you. So be prepared for those things as well. In our interview, we're also looking for professionalism. The biggest thing is to be in an area where it's quiet, to be seated somewhere where we can see you clearly, you have good lighting, you have good audio, and that you're dressed well, that there's not a lot going on in the background, and that there's no distractions during the interview. There's been times where, unfortunately, I've had people interview me or come to the interview and they were in bed, they were sitting on a couch. So just don't be doing those things. Just be seated at a desk or at a table with a chair so that we know that you're professional. If you want to take it up a notch or two, if you have a red polo and you have a headset, that would be amazing too, because we do require our teachers to wear red polos and to use a headset. This background as well is something that we require, but obviously for the interview you don't need that, but you will need it once you get hired. Some of the basic questions we're going to ask you about is, are you comfortable working with adults, and are you able to work our fixed schedule? There's a certain set of hours that we're looking for, so it will be peak times that you have to do. It could be 7 hours, it could be 10 hours. Right now for summer, it's going to be 10 hours. So, and then 4 of the hours have to be on the weekends. So can you commit to that fixed schedule? And that would be the main aspects of the interview. I hope that this was helpful for you. Please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know if you did the interview and this helped you, or let me know if you got hired. I'm excited to hear your stories, okay? So looking forward to hearing from you, and thanks to all of you who have reached out from my other videos. It's always nice to meet you guys and also to interview some of you as well. So see you next time. Bye-bye.